Is that the sound of an old woman opening her Medicare pills? Did you hear a stalk of celery being cut? If you did, you understand the magic of the Foley artist. My name is Evan Stephen. I'm a Foley artist. We were commissioned by the Silent Film Institute to reimagine the original masterworks of the silent film Foley artists of earlier in the century. And I thought, sure, I can do it by myself. And you know, the end product might be better, but maybe I can bring in some outsiders, some rebels, some folks who have really challenged the paradigm. I thought, two men, Lanolin Sparks and T-Borg.
I am T-Borg.
T-Borg is the scent of buffalo musk in the morning in your ear.
In my country, sound is like food.
He knows about the way sound works in ways that none of us here, where movies are actually made, understand. And so I had to ask T-Borg to come and to contribute his essence, his musk, to the work.
This celery makes a sound. The sound of me eating a celery. Is that Foley art? I make sound with my mind, and I make it with my face, and most of all, I make sound with my body.
Who am I talking to? Am I talking to you? Am I talking to you?
Then there's Lanolin.
Who am I talking to?
A lot of people don't like working with Lanolin, I won't lie. He's very sharp, but he's very unorthodox.
Family leaving a museum. Someone forgetting to mail a letter. Quiet evening at home. Imbecile! White bread, white bread!
Oh God!
I think we're ready.
My background is in movement. I'm very comfortable in my skin. I can move through very, very small areas without any kind of salve.
Lanolin was passed over for Weekend at Bernie's 2.
I found this in Bernie's dog.
To turn that film into a sort of poetry.
Huh? Okay. This is why you woke me up. See, I have 3 job interviews in the morning, and I'd like to go back to sleep.
I have no recollection of anything happening. I don't know who Bernie is, and I don't know why he had a weekend and why it happened twice. But I have no recollection of that. I had a lot of lower back pain at the time.
It strained our relationship, I won't lie.
He seems like a perfectly fine man, but I can't recall ever meeting him before.
He may pretend not to know who I am. And it may make me cry. It may affect my performance.
What?
For me, the obvious influence was Cassavetes, because I've never seen anything that he's done.
Most of the films that I return to over and over again for a better sense of how sound really works are silent.
People who are new to the medium don't understand is that silent films, they could have been very noisy, but they said we don't need this.
Some of the best work that's ever been done in the art of the Foley, you know, the folks who started the Guild were from the era of the silent film.
No, SFI invites you to something and you go. This is the White House of Princeton, of Barry Manilow, of Broadway, of ice skating, of Mars rover. I see that at the center of the beauty of film is the richer center, which is the beauty of sound. And the center of sound is really silence. This is going to be hard for a lot of people to understand because they're cretinous. But at the heart of the sound process is not making sound.
Listen carefully. Did you hear that? That's the sound of a stalk of celery snapping in a silent film.
So in some ways, it's like writing a beautiful book and then tearing up all the pages and then deciding that you shouldn't have written the book. And I do that at the beginning of the process.
When we did Foley for when the man removes his wig and reveals that he is a woman, I did the sound of my memory of the sweet lips of the first girl that I kissed and the potato.
A painter doesn't pick up a brush until he understands white. Someone who makes sidewalks should know how to walk and then not walk. And then walk a little bit and stop and make a sidewalk. I tell my wife, sometimes the rests are more important than the notes, and that's why I won't be calling.
When the Silent Film Institute calls, your phone doesn't ring. You just have to know when to pick it up. I did. It was just a dial tone. They don't call it the email.
I think we did something that was very unique, very truly, literally unique. And I think just it's very cynical to say we'll turn down the lack of sound that wasn't there to begin with, and that's the same thing as Foley, right? Well, you know, if Picasso shits in the woods, does anybody hear it? So would I do it again? I mean, I feel like this is something where I want to get this in front of the people and let them decide for themselves. Because, you know, you can't make any money putting this shit in museums.